On July 4, 1762, the King of Korea ordered his own crown prince into a wooden rice chest and nailed the lid shut. King Yeongjo had ruled Joseon Korea since 1724. By 1762, he had been on the throne for 38 years, an aging monarch growing more rigid each year. His only surviving son and crown prince was Yi Son, called Sado, born in 1735. From his early 20s, Sado began suffering attacks of paranoia and uncontrollable rage. He hallucinated voices accusing him from the rafters. He developed a phobia of certain clothes and would beat his attendants while they tried to dress him. His wife later wrote that she lived in daily fear of being killed in one of his fits. The episodes turned lethal. By the spring of 1762, Sado had killed scores of his servants, beheading some and beating others to death with his bare hands. He killed one of his concubines. He kept severed heads in his quarters, and once carried a beheaded eunuch into his wife's chamber. The court physicians said he was beyond medicine. The Confucian classics on which the dynasty rested made one rule absolute: a son cannot be executed by his father, and a father cannot be sentenced by his son. Yeongjo could not legally kill the heir, and the heir could not be allowed to inherit. On the 4th of July 1762, the king summoned Sado to the courtyard of Changyang Palace. A large wooden chest stood waiting, a duaiju, the kind used across Korea to store harvested rice. Yeongjo ordered his son to climb in. The lid was set in place and nailed shut. Carpenters reinforced the seams. The chest was wrapped in straw mats and dragged to a sunlit corner of the courtyard, where it sat in Korean summer heat that climbs above 30 degrees. Sado was 27. For the first 3 days he called out from inside. He asked for water. He begged for his father. The eunuchs guarding the chest were instructed not to answer. The king ordered the courtyard cleared of witnesses. On the 4th day, with Sado still alive, the chest was dragged into fuller sunlight and additional ropes and grass piled on the lid. Heavy summer rain fell during those 8 days. On the morning of the 8th day, the eunuchs heard nothing inside. They opened the lid and found Sado dead. He had suffocated and starved over more than 180 hours. Sado's widow was Lady Haegyung of the Pungsan Hong clan, 10 years old at the wedding, 27 when her husband died inside the chest. Her young son survived the purge that followed. He grew up to become King Jeongjo. Later, as Queen Dowager, she wrote a 4-volume memoir, The Hanjeongnok, recording her own account of those 8 days from her vantage in the inner palace. It is the most detailed personal record to survive from the entire Joseon dynasty. Jeongjo had his father posthumously titled Crown Prince Jangyeon and visited the tomb every year of his reign. Lady Haegyung outlived her husband by 54 years. She died in 1816 at the age of 80, having lived to see her grandson Sunjo crowned. She is buried in the same royal cemetery as Sado, alongside their son Jeongjo. Tradition forbade killing the heir. Tradition said nothing about a chest.